The 48th edition of the classic Brugge De Panne men's one-day World Tour race was always set to be a brilliant showdown between some of the best sprinters in the world. Jasper Philipsen, Tim Merlier, Arnaud Demar, Gerben Thijssen, Sam Welsford, amongst many others, Fabio Jakobsen et al. They were all here, all ready to give it a go across 200 kilometres of racing. And these three were allowed to go clear. The peloton locking it down, happy to allow three riders from second division pro teams go clear. And they worked really well together, these three. Two Belgians, Luca de Mister and Victor Vercuy, in company with Thomas Gachinard, the Frenchman riding for Total Energies. They would extend their lead to well in excess of 8 minutes at one point. We're joining the peloton here as we look down at them on the penultimate big lap of our finishing circuit around De Moeren. The polders, the big open exposed flatlands with the dikes dissecting them in the bottom southwestern corner of West Flanders. All the time, Alpecin de Koning, the team of Jasper Philipsen, just keeping them at a sensible peg. Unfortunately, as the chase continued and the gap came down on our breakaway, so did the crashes. Nathan van der Pieter coming down there with Simone Consoni of Lidl-Trek, amongst a couple of others as well, caught in those crashes. And then yet another one as we roll through. Liam Schlock was the next of those to come down really hard. I haven't heard any afters on how he was, the Lotto Destiny rider. Hope he's okay though. And then our breakaway was so close to being caught, and it was Thomas Gachinard, the last one to attack, to try and stay out front. The two Belgians on home soil, a little bit dischuffed with the Frenchman deciding to be the last one out there, but that's the way it would become. Again, going from big wide roads to narrow roads inside the final 20 kilometres on this clockwise loop of 45 kilometres, taking the riders back in towards De Panne. And Gachinard looking over his shoulder, sensing that time was up. It was actually at this point Jaco Alula and the teams of Lidl-Trek, DSM Firmenich, who were all contributing to the chase, trying to get their sprinters into good position. Watch Danny van Poppel on the right-hand side, just riding onto the grass on the edge of the dike there, unclipping and starting the long chase to get back in. He would get back in, and you watch where he featured in this finish too, because Danny van Poppel is quite some needle and thread of a rider to get through a peloton of some 150 or so riders by this stage. Now, Jordi Meijers was doing hard work off the left-hand side for Bora Hansgrohe. The question was, who was he working for? You could see there the Irishman looking around to see where everyone else was. This was the final sprint, though, and look where Danny van Poppel had got himself into. The lead. Tim Merlier coming up on the middle. Jasper Philipsen right between the two of them, and it would be him, Jasper Philipsen, taking his second win in this race in a row, just 4 days after winning Milan-San Remo. Who is the greatest sprinter in the world, I hear you ask? Well, on this day, on this course, it's Jasper Philipsen. First place ahead of Tim Merlier, two Belgians first and second, and Danny van Poppel, what a ride back to be once again the consistent sprinter for Bora Hansgrohe. Just ahead of Jason Tesson, the Frenchman who gets the best World Tour finish of his career too, and Simone Consoni, who we've just seen on the deck, the Italian for Lidl-Trek in fifth, ahead of Stiad Friemheim, Juan Sebastian Molano, Phil Bauhaus, Emilian Janier and Luca Mozzato in 10th place.